Okay. So I started recording. I want to tell you that how are you going to conduct the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So I will ask the question and you raise the hand. If the person answers properly, at least 70% is correct, then I will add if anything I want to add it, and then we'll go to next question. If that answer is wrong, I will try to give a chance to the second person. Okay, so because we are not keeping any kind of who is rising the first and all, but at least whoever I select, they can answer. Finally, our understanding is few people need to answer confidently, and every question should have a proper answer. That is the ultimate agenda. So we'll go with our group mock interview today. And thanks again for your time and to join in the weekend. And I hope this mock interview will be helpful for you to learn what kind of questions we are getting in the latest interviews where people are covering both ECC and S4HANA. Because like all of us know that among 100% of SAP customers, around 38% of customers are in S4HANA, still 62% are in ECC. Okay, so but new implementations will be 90% S4HANA. There are 10% ECC can happen that is related to, for example, a company is selling certain small part of business to another company. At that point of time, they cannot go for S4HANA implementation only along with selling, right? So then they might copy that existing functionalities and give in ECC. That could be possible. And merger and acquisition, a company has bought another company and they are planning to do S4HANA in 2027 or 28 current plan. So now the merger is completed and they want to start the business. So when they want to start the business, they need an ERP. Okay, because they are not selling, buying a small entities, right? Definitely, 600 employees, 1,000 employees, and certain kind of supply chain, procurement, even sales, finance, everything they want. So then they may do it ECC copy current existing because they have a taxation, they have customized forms, everything available. So they may do ECC implementation because 28 they will go with a big bang S4HANA along with all the companies. There are few such kind of scenarios ECC implementations may happen, but whatever role you are going to get it, mostly ECC support. So 62% or 60% above customers are still using ECC. So our future is S4HANA, but if someone maybe any institute or trainers, maybe marketing, no more ECC, you have to learn S4HANA. You have to learn S4HANA, that is universal truth, but ECC is no more and ECC will not be useful. Those statements, I believe you don't have to trust with these analytics. Okay, let's go to our agenda where I'm going to cover few ECC and few S4HANA questions. Most of us, I know that one. 60 to 70% of ECC S4HANA same. So few questions you don't know whether it is from ECC or S4HANA. But if there is a question from S4HANA, then yes, it is only specific to S4HANA. So yeah, that's it. And let's go to that questions and we will see that how much level. I believe there are a couple of few people might be preparing and a few people already working and few people maybe just started their preparation. So it's difficult to catch up all the levels, but I will try to cover few questions. And we cannot name it this mock interview like 4+ experience or 6+ experience like that. But we try to cover that around the 3, 4, 5 years of experience and any other questions. Okay. Okay, we will go with a way of support project. Okay, for example, in a support project, what kind of questions will come? So we can drill down 4 or 5 questions you can answer. Okay, so as a support consultant, with whom you interact more from the business people? With whom you are going to interact in a support project from business? Anyone wants to raise the hand? Yeah, Suhail, you can answer.
Yes, Ganesh. It depends upon the support project's requirement L1, L2. If there is a requirement that we need to connect with BCOE, business COE, so based on that, they can raise an incident and we can, after giving the solution, we can close the incident based on the business COE approval.
Business
or
COA.
COE.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay.
some project requirement that we can directly connect with the end users.
Yeah, like either end user rarely create in a project. Most of the places, either key user will create a ticket or a local IT. If they have a 1 or 2 local IT members, first they will ask to the local IT. If they cannot answer, if they don't have a solution, they will raise the ticket. So we mostly interact with local IT. So few companies will follow that local IT as a like a point of contact for IT team. They will not directly talk to key user or the end user. And few projects directly we talk to key user, and key user will understand and explain to the end user. Okay, very rare cases, less percentage, we directly talk to end user. You can answer either local IT or key users. End users, try to avoid it, okay, because the percentage is less. So like that, you can answer it. Yeah. So what are the best qualities for a support consultant? Must have any three qualities to run as a successful support consultant or a best consultant. What do you feel the top three qualities? Yeah, Vaibhav.
Sir, I think firstly the business process he should must know how's the business process. Then the what is the configuration limit means what we can do with the configuration and what need to do with customization that should be analyzed. And I think that should these two things should be.
Hmm. Okay. The first thing is like we can say like you answered half of way. So the first thing is we joined in a support project which was implemented 2 years before, or 5 years before, or 8 years before. Generally, what happens most of the cases either because of the urgency or because of number of tickets or because of our little bit laziness, whatever different reasons, we don't go through that all KT documents. There will be blueprint, there will be functional specifications, there will be use case like any user manuals, okay, but we don't go through that. Whenever ticket comes, based on the ticket we go it. That will be that won't give you that broader picture. How was the design, okay, in what circumstances they designed in that way. So that kind of a command is not there, so your solution may not be apt for that company, and sometimes it may misfire because with your SAP standard knowledge and outside experience, you might give some solution which is not suitable for that company. Because of that, they did some customization because you don't know anything about the customization. So to avoid these challenges, definitely it will be there, but to reduce these challenges, you have to go through the blueprint, go through the functional specification, go through that user manuals, and run one time the scenario or any few which area you're working more. You have to test in your quality system, understand better. That is the primary thing. The second thing, communication. Any support consultant should have a proper communication to whom you are talking to. You are talking to a key user, how to talk to him. You are talking to a local IT, he knows something about SPRO configuration, some IT terminologies also he can understand, IDOC, RFC. And you key user, he may not understand that when I interface this data, it's not coming to that third party system. Can you verify? So how to communicate with him? Okay, and if you're talking to directly a business owner, like he is the completely client side manager, you may have some interaction regarding certain kind of critical issue. Then how to talk to him? Okay, these things we must know. So communication, who is our audience, or who is the counterpart with whom you're talking about? Okay, this second thing we can give. And third one, how to work with other department, other modules and other departments. For example, you sometimes you work with SD consultant, sometimes you work with FA consultant, and sometimes you work with middleware. Okay, you work with middleware with whom you need to call and you need to work for fixing certain kind of interface issue, and sometimes you need to work with ABAP for debugging or fixing certain bug or some enhancement. So how to deal your peers with you with whom you're sitting in the same floor, or you are working continuously, or you are maybe uh, different cases you may have certain kind of discussions or some kind of conflict also, because sometimes they say like shipping point is you may say shipping point is SD, or with FI that invoice verification issue has come, you will say that this is no, this is FI. I mean, such kind of a few kind of conflicts and these things, how to handle that. Okay, so how to work together. So these three things you can highlight. If you want to tell the list, there will be many things are there. You can go and check that support consultant by Ganesh Padala. There is a video where you can find 40 minutes, I think. Yeah, I provided multiple points. Okay, in interview, you cannot tell all those things. You can tell gunshot, 2, 3 things. You can tell a simple way that we need to understand the overall business of the client. With whom I'm going to support it by using the KT documents and all, and the proper communication to talk to key user based on their language or based on their SAP skill. The good communication and understanding skills and listening skills will play a key role, and as a good team member to work with other modules and other things. These three answers you can give.
Okay.
Okay, so that in implementation, okay, so where do you configure exactly and why don't you configure directly in quality system, and which system you are going to configure, and when you do the configuration, what exactly will happen? Vishal Dev.
Yes, sir. Thank you for. We are configuring our configuration in development system. After that, in development system, we will take unit testing, and after that, we will move the transport through SCC1, STMS in quality system, where we will test thoroughly.
Okay, you can directly answer that because this is the completely that IT landscape, right? So we need to configure in development system, and we have to test in quality, and then we have to move to production. That is the overall IT landscape, whether you're working in SAP or Java or something else. This is the overall IT architecture, IT landscape we call, okay, IT landscape. So you have to tell that we configure in development system. In the same development system, most of the companies follow the best method of having two clients. One is for configuration, which we call like a golden client. Another one is we call like a testing client, unit testing client. Yeah, because that will be helpful for you to maintain a clean system, not to have much junk, and where you can configure in the golden and copy the configuration to development, the testing system, so that you can maintain the master data, everything in the development system. The golden client will have only configuration. It will not have a junk master data and transaction data and all. So while copying the system to any other thing, if you want to copy, then you can avoid all these transactions. The maintaining will be like it will be a disciplined way, or even some other benefits when your client copies and all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Who will prepare the technical specification in implementation project?
Yeah, this is Subhash. Actually, the technical specification will be prepared by the ABAP team based on the functional spec which was providing by us.
Okay. At what stage he will prepare the technical specification?
So whenever we got any business requirement, so first as a functional consultant, we need to understand the end-to-end requirement and what are the changes, whether it is enhancement on the existing program, or it is required to develop a new program. So the decision has to be taken by the functional consultant. Once the requirement was clear from the business, then we will prepare a functional specification document. Once the functional specification document got ready, then we will coordinate with the ABAP team and we will share the requirement. So what is the requirement and what are the changes that need to be done? So based on the functional specification document which we shared, the ABAP will be create the technical specification document. So once it was done and it got approved, then the development will got initiated.
Okay. So generally the technical specification will be done after completion of the development. Generally we do most of the times when you are hand over the project to AMS, okay, or as part of while giving the KT and all, we do that. So when we make a kind of handover time, all the developments, we need to, ABAP have to prepare the technical specification where they mention about what function model they used. There are some screenshots of a program, okay, and anything they used, all those stuff they maintain it. Okay. So if I go for any kind of a process wise, okay, so is it possible to maintain a source list, fixed source list for multiple vendors?
What is the question, sir? Can you repeat?
Is it possible to maintain fixed source list for multiple vendors and material combination? Yes, Subhash or Vishal.
Yeah,
Yes,
for creation of source list, so we cannot maintain a fixed vendor for the multiple material. We can add for the same plant. If the plants are different, then we can maintain.
I didn't get the answer.
Yeah,
Can
the
repeat
source
it.
list will be created for the material and plant combination. Okay, so at this combination we can specify the vendor is fixed. Okay, so if you want to create a fixed vendor for the material, then for the same plant it is not possible. If there are multiple plants, we can create a fixed vendor based on the material and plant combination.
Yeah, for the question answer is for the combination of a material and plant and the vendor, we can have only one vendor as a fixed vendor. Any other vendor, if you want to maintain for the combination of the material and plant, it should be Normally you can maintain source list, but you cannot have a two fixed indicators.
Yes.
So if you want to do a direct procurement, okay, you want to do a procurement of material to receive as a stock. Okay, which of the material master, you have a master data of multiple, right? Which of the master data are important or mandatory? Yeah, Suresh Kovuru.
It's material master data and vendor master data and PAR.
Okay, all three are mandatory.
PAR is not mandatory, but material master and vendor master is mandatory.
The material master and vendor master only mandatory.
Yeah.
PIR is optional. Source list is optional. Quota arrangement is optional.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to use MRP, okay, if you want to use MRP automatically creation and all, then either quota arrangement, info record anyway, it's mandatory. Okay.
Yeah.
If not info record, at least you need to maintain a condition record to get that. Okay.
Yes.
So
correct.
like that we can maintain that. So what is the difference between serial number profile and serial number? Difference between serial number profile and serial number. Yeah, Vishal.
Serial number profile is assigned in material master for that material, and serial number is the serial number which is created particularly for that material. So we can use that serial number while posting JRN and tracking that serial number throughout his entire life.
Okay. Is it possible to have more than one serial number profile for a same material and plant combination?
No, sir.
Because one serial number profile is possible for a material and plant combination.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever worked on serial number?
Yes, sir. I have worked on serial number.
Yes.
So what kind of business generally use more serial number profile concept? What kind of business?
Business for unique identification of businesses. For my client, we have created serial number profiles for gauges and instrument. They have different serial number for same material. So for identification, they are using serial number.
Okay, you can mention like electronic items like computer, laptop, mobile, or even like home appliances like aircon, washing machine. So all these kind of products generally maintain the serial number.
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of products use the batch management? What kind of companies and product? I think we'll give opportunity to someone else also. If someone, we know that, right? There are different people will have some shy or answer thinking. Okay, if someone is there, raise your hand. What kind of companies activate batch management? And how does
Usually like pharma people use batches.
most of the process industries? Okay,
Yes, pharmaceutical,
pharmaceutical, food industries, paint industries, chemical industries. These are all maintain the batch. Okay, so a lot they can take and they can supply. Okay, most of the cases.
Yeah, I have to add one more point in this batch management. Whenever the material shelf life is critical, in that case, the batch management will take a key role, where we can segregate the material based on whenever we are receiving the stock. So based on the shelf life data, we can segregate the material based on the batches. And with the using this, we can use FIFO method or LIFO method, first come first issue, like that.
Yeah, the FIFO we can even the batch number itself when the batch is automatically generated, right, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So everything will have a different manufacturing date. So based on the manufacturing date, your shelf life will be there, and you while segregating the FIFO method, you can use the criteria. Okay, on what basis you wanted to find it, the FIFO calculation. The manufacturing date will be allocated. If it is the same product, everyone will have a shelf life of 365 days. If I have if manufactured on June 1st, my shelf life is till next June, May 31st. Okay, if I received on June 15th, my expiry date will be somewhere on June 14th. Okay, like that will be.
Yeah, actually, I have one small query here. Could you please tell me what is the difference between total shelf life And the minimum remaining shelf life in Metal Master.
Okay, so anyway, we will go with the flow. We'll have the question, but anyway, we ask the question. Ask the question, so I will answer it. So total shelf life means we are telling the system that what is this material, how much total life it has. For example, 365 days is the total shelf life. Okay, and minimum remaining shelf life means, for example, you tell the system the minimum remaining shelf life while receiving it should be at least 100 days. Okay, so what will happen? A supermarket is taking the product from a vendor. While taking that, they will check it. What is the remaining shelf life? If there is at least 100, you have given in the Metal Master as a 100, right? Minimum remaining shelf life.
Yes.
If it is at least 100, then only system will allow you to do the GR. If the remaining shelf life is 60 or 50, it will throw error, because you want to keep any material which has at least 3 months validity. Okay, if you take it only the material which is going to expire in 1 month, and if your customers are not buying, it will be expired, right?
Yeah.
You understand? So total
Yes.
shelf life is the overall shelf life of a product from the manufacturing date. For example, June 14th, you have manufactured a product, shelf life is 1 year, then the expiry date may be somewhere June 13th. Okay. If the minimum remaining shelf life, you put it as 100. So if you send to the vendor, if you send to your customer, he can receive today, he can receive in July, August, September, but he will not receive if the product comes in the month of March or April or May. Okay, because
Okay.
Remaining shelf life is very less. So the benefit of having minimum remaining shelf life or remaining shelf life is to avoid frequent aging products, like frequently expired products. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So what are the different type of interface options in SAP, in ECC and S/4HANA? What are the different type of options to interface between SAP and other system, either to receive the data or to send the data?
Okay, when it comes to the interface, we have multiple options. We have iDocs, which can communicate in between SAP to SAP system, from SAP to another system. And one more is RFC connections in between two systems. And so these are the major things which we can communicate from SAP to SAP and SAP to different system, to and fro. Either from SAP to sending SAP to from one system to another system, from SAP to another SAP, or receiving from another non-SAP system to SAP system.
Okay, in ECC, iDoc is most popular. Okay, iDoc and
AL is also there.
it's part of the overall. It will come either it is ALE or the EDI. We call everything, right? So iDoc, RFC, FTP. Okay, file transfer protocol. Generally, with the program, you send a file to the path and then they receive. Okay, through middleware. So these three. But when it comes to S/4HANA API. Okay, SAP has given the API links also. I made one short video also on YouTube, and in future I'm going to make more videos on API. How to, it looks like little bit our BAPI or iDoc, how to give the data and all, but SAP has given a standard APIs. So when it comes to S/4HANA, number one is API. Very few cases they may use iDoc or RFC, but they want to avoid mostly the usage of iDoc and RFC, but wherever few cases it may be useful. So for S/4HANA, you can tell API, and for ECC, iDoc as a top one.
Then what is the difference between what are the advantages of using API when compared to iDocs?
No, iDoc is going with a patch by patch, like a file we generate and the middleware used to combine everything and send, or few things will take 3 minutes to go, okay, like that. But in API, the simplification is happened. Okay, I think when I make a detailed video, there's a comparison between iDoc and API, or how does API work. Okay, because how we have iDoc types, right? iDoc type, message type, like that.
Yes.
SAP has given that API links directly. You can take that link, and the mapping will somewhat, the mapping also happening similar way how we do in iDoc with a middleware, okay, either MuleSoft or SOA or TIPCO or any kind of a middleware. The mapping looks little similar, but in API, I see that more the what you call when the data is interchanging between the systems, the efficiency is more compared to iDoc. And in iDoc, we have the data when we go through the middleware, we used to see some compatibility issues with the third-party system, or else the entire segments, right? A lot of segments are there, and all segment data will be sending through XML format or JSON format. In API also, it will go in that way, but I see that API the more robustic way. So in detailed sessions, I can explain about how does API work, and both common functionalities. What I can understand is here we have a IDOC type and message type. There we are getting the API links. Mapping will be similar. Here also we have to tell this is my material number, this is my PO number, this is my vendor number. Same way in API also we need to do the mapping. Okay, so there will not be any segments kind of a concept, but there are also some component. Okay, the fields are available. So you see a lot of similarities, but there will be performance wise, and when your communication interchange the data, the efficiency and some other benefits are there in API. Okay, in future we can see more about API, because S4HANA completely projecting and suggesting to use API and try to reduce or avoid usage of IDOC and RFC. Okay. API also will have error log, mapping of the fields, and how it is collecting the data and sending to system. Okay, there are few similarities we can see. So when it comes to the business partner, okay, as an S4HANA consultant or as you are working in S4HANA, can you tell that two similarities you observe and any one point which is available in ECC but not available in S4HANA with respect to vendor master? Can anyone answer? With respect to vendor master, what is something which is not available in S4HANA anymore, and what are the two things still it's common? Okay, so you can tell, like for example, which is not available, this MK01, these T-codes are no more. Okay, it will directly call to the BP, BP transaction directly. So the which is not available, you can directly, it will call you to the BP transaction. So no more MK01, XK01, those kind of things. What is the common thing? There also we have general data, company code data, and purchasing data. The similar way in BP also we have the same thing. Okay, so there we use one T-code to go for purchasing data like MK01, accounting data, company code data, FK01, the complete data XK01. Here we have a one T-code called BP, but we find the different kind of role. Okay, see, you can see here, right? BP roles. Here, if it is our vendor master, okay, here we can see this supplier company code data and supplier purchasing data. Okay, see, supplier accounting data and supplier purchasing data. So that kind of a is there, but when you go to that data wise, you will see the schema group, purchasing vendor, acknowledgement required flag, automatic PO, purchase group, whatever we see in purchasing data, the fields are more or less similar fields are available, and you can still access MK03. You can still access the display T-code, but you cannot access the creation. Okay, because the data still it is storing similar way. Okay, that's what I can mention there. Because the table level data and MKVJ transaction is still available to check the list of vendors, list of purchasing vendors. So that's why SAP has not removed the display transaction. But when you go to the MK03, it will take to the BP. But when you go to the purchasing, just now I was mentioning, right? GR based invoice verification, ABC indicator, shipping conditions, schema group vendor. Okay, schema group, but mostly they're using the word called supplier. Okay, the vendor word they're using mainly when it comes to accounting data, but in a regular our purchasing and MM perspective, the word supplier. Okay, you can see that supplier word is mainly using. Even when you go to the MK03, display supplier, in ECC it will be display vendor. Okay, so I told some 5-6 points. You can pick and tell any 2-3 points during the interview. Is it possible to use lean service procurement in ECC?
No.
Yeah, so lean service procurement is only designed for
S1.
S4 HANA. Okay, you cannot use in ECC. Even that managed service entry sheet and all, you cannot use SAP GUI. We must use Fury only.
Fury on.
Okay.
Public cloud is available.
So what is that one new material type introduced by SAP for lean service procurement?
SARV.
SARV.
So this is the one to identify service product. Okay. So if you go to that each material type in S4 HANA, we got a new option called this one, product type group. So this product type group can tell you whether it is a material or service or any subscription related one. So we use material for all of our stock related procurement and service for this lean service procurement. Okay. Is it possible to use our external service procurement, the classical service procurement in S4 HANA?
Yes, possible. Yes, for HANA it is possible, but in cloud it is not possible.
I think in public cloud it is not encouraging, but in private cloud it is still possible.
Okay,
Even
okay.
on premise is possible, and private cloud also possible. And public cloud I cannot comment, but yeah, but in public cloud is like a SAP standard S4 HANA system only. So whatever new things added in S4 HANA they kept, and anything they want to manage. See, in case of private cloud and on premise, there are many brownfield implementations are happening. So the classical service procurement they want to use, it means you have to give. So your statement which is not available, it can be applicable for public cloud, because
Yep.
public cloud is a completely a brand new system, and it is designed for S4 HANA. So these kind of classical service procurement and normal MRP, so classic MRP, all these things will not be available. But private cloud and on-premise are carrying both, and you can use external service procurement, or else you can use lean service procurement. Okay, you can create service master and use the external service procurement, or you can go with a lean service procurement.
In lean service procurement, we need not create service master, right?
No more service master. You have to create a material with SCRV material type. Okay.
And without material also it is possible.
Yes, there is a text related procurement also there in lean service procurement. The
Yes,
both
yes.
options are. So what is the use of physical inventory process?
Physical inventory process. If you want to match our stock, physical stock and system stock, then we are using physical inventory for posting the difference, so that management will get a correct picture, the physical stock and the system stock. So physical inventory activity is periodically taken in almost all the companies.
Okay. What is the use of this MI10 transaction?
In MI10, we can directly post the physical inventory without creating the physical inventory document.
Yeah, MI10, when you do MI10, system will do MI01, MI04, MI07 all at once.
One stroke.
Yeah, in the backend, it will create all the document. It will create a document, it will enter the account, it will post it. So MI10 will do all three steps. What is the difference between MB51 report and MB52?
MB51 is a report basically for checking the material documents which are posted as per the user criteria, and MB52 is a report for warehouse stock, plant wise. So you can check the multiple material stock in one stroke.
So we'll give chance to any other member. In 3-4 questions, we will conclude this session. So is it possible to get available quantity in MB52? What is the difference between available and on-hand quantity? And is it possible to get both the details in MB52? Okay, so MB52 will only provide on stock on hand. Okay, it will not provide you the available quantity. What is this available quantity? For example, the warehouse has 100 quantity, but 5 quantity is confirmed for a sales order, 10 quantity a reservation is created, and maybe 5 quantity some STO was created by other plant. So then 5 plus 5 plus 10, 20. So available quantity is 80, on hand quantity is 100. So MB52 will always give you on hand. It won't give you the available quantity. If you want the available quantity, you have to check MD04. Okay, see, this is MD04. MD04. Okay, if you can check for one material, we can check like this. So you can see here, this is the available quantity. Like now, this is the stock, and this is the after having the multiple POs and any requirements. Okay, it will like this. it will completely checking the requirement and all. And if you want to check for your entire plant, you can give the plant and any other information, procurement type, anything if you want to check it, and click. Just MRP controller. Click enter. So it will check you that this is the plant and material quantity. Okay, how much for the plant stock is available, and any other requirement. All those information it will show you. The reorder point, the complete data you can see. What is the MRP type also you can verify. Okay, so if you want to check this specific material, you can go for that. The individual thing you can check for the like this. Okay. What is this? What is the use of MMRV T-code?
Yeah, we can check the available posting period. Yeah, we can check the posting periods through this MMPV and MMRV, and we can.
The question is only about MMRV.
Yeah, MMRV we can able to check what is the current period details all in MMRV.
Okay. In MMRV, you can see that what is the current period and previous period, and also you can control whether you can allow to post in the previous period. For example, June month. So our current period is 03 because we know most of us know, right? 03 because we are India, most of these countries and all. April to March is the financial year. So the period 03 means April plus 3, like 03 March is ending, right? So period 03 means 1, 2, 3. So April is 1, May is 2, June is 3. So that's why the current period is 03. So don't have to confuse. So always our month and minus 3 equals to current period. That is for the India and Singapore, and many of these countries are using the. There are few countries use the Jan to December. Okay, then they will not have this confusion. 6 means June. Okay, 1 means January, like that. So MMRV, these are two controls, you can use it. So if you want to get the details of goods movement, material document, material, everything in one table, either any table to get the entire information within a single table. Material document, okay.
We can get in MB51.
MADOC.
Yeah, someone is answering MADOC. So yeah,
MADOC.
yeah, S4 HANA, we got a new table called MADOC. This is the combination of MSEG and MKPF. Even more than that, also there are a lot of fields are available. Okay, you can see the material document number. Maybe you can check with MVLNR. See, material document number and document year is available, which is MKPF related fields, and also MATNR. Material number, storage location, plant, like MSEG fields also available. Okay, so MADOC is a combination of MKPF and MSEG, so both are available. So yeah, I think I covered a few questions. Let's not make it too lengthy. I will definitely connect sometimes monthly, at least one time I'm planning for next few months to have few mock interviews, and we cannot cover all the areas in every place because like I mentioned that the audience are multiple experience and multiple knowledge related people. So let's make it these kind of 45 minutes around productive interviews, at least the 10 minutes waiting for someone that will be there. So at least the 40 minutes of productive interview. I hope you got some benefit out of this kind of a mock interview. I will keep this video to all the people, whoever using the Google Drive or Udemy and all, it will be available. I will send a notification and it will be coming to the public based on our schedule. Already we have next 2 months what videos we are going to publish on YouTube. It is available, and next slot I will give to this video. And thanks to all the members whoever allocated your time on the weekend. And like I mentioned everywhere, I used to get that you always get Udemy free coupons. Okay, and today I will send an email to all the members. Please spend 1 or 2 hours of your time in the weekend and to enroll and to revise and practice that questions which are available in Udemy. Okay, so and give your rating. So that will be a great help for me to grow on Udemy platform where our courses reach to 150 countries. Your ratings will give a boost to our courses to enhance and to reach more people. Thanks again for your time, and we'll meet with another mock interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.